Yes. So in this case, how many objects will be created? Yes, in this
Two.
case, how many objects? Only two, is it?
Two objects.
And now, yes. Now,
Yeah, now also two.
now also, right? Now, how many objects will be present?
Only one.
Only one object will be present. What about what happened to the object 200?
Yeah, it's 200 minus 100 is equal to 100.
Correct. So now every identifier is pointing to object 100 only. And I'm asking what happens to this object 200. Now, if you see, if I ask address of A, B, C, D, E, everything is same, right? So all will be pointing to the same object. And what happens to the 200? This 200. What will happen to this? Yesterday we discussed. Is anyone
Yes.
referring to this 200 object?
Yes. Yeah, Python will automatically delete that object from.
Yeah, correct. So as this 200 object, there is no one is pointing to this 200 object. So this 200 object is eligible for garbage collection. Correct. So Python virtual machine will delete this object from the memory. So whenever any object is getting created, what and all steps will be happening? So initially I'm saying a equal to 100. So what and all it will what and all Python virtual machine will be doing? First it will verify. First it will check in the memory, is this object is already created or not. If it is created, then make use of this object. Otherwise, then only create a new object. Then only create a new object. So for each and every object we create, so what and all steps it is searching, and if it is already present, then reuse it. If it is not present, then only create a object. So don't you think like it is kind of overhead, because for each and every object it is searching in the memory, correct? So but but in Python, creating an object is costly operation. Creating an object is costly operation. We discussed yesterday, correct? So creating an object is costly operation, but searching for an object is easy operation. Searching for an object is easy operation, right? So for that the reason, first whenever we are creating any object, first it will search. First it will search. If it is present, then reuse it. So much of overhead. So the what and all we required to create an object, right? So that time we can save here. So and also Python consumes so much of memory, right, when compared to other programming languages. So we can, if we reuse this object, we can save good amount of memory. And object reusability, so what we call it as object reusability. So object reusability applicable for all the data types or not? For what and all data types it will be applicable? Object reusability. Yes,
It's for all data type, no?
all data types, is it? No, right? Only fundamental data types. The two,
Except
integer,
complex.
yeah, integer, float, string, and boolean. Not for complex type again.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So for when we say all data types means we'll get other data types also, like list, tuple, set, dictionary, all these things. No, it will be applicable only for fundamental data types. So again, in fundamental data types, it is applicable for integer, float, boolean, and string. So object reusability is not applicable or complex data types, right? So these and all we discussed yesterday. Clear, right? Next, the most important thing need to be remembered is what are the Boolean types? Boolean data types.
True and false.
True and false, correct? So, what is true and what is false in Python? What is true and what is false in Python? So, you need to remember this thing very clearly. What is true in Python? What is false in Python? So, Boolean data types, how many we have? So, Boolean data types are only two we have. One is true, another is false, right? So, very simple to remember. Anything non-zero, any non-zero will be treated as true. Any non-zero, anything which is non-zero, will be treated as true, and zero will be treated as false. Zero will be treated as false. Okay. Now, also we have seen type conversion functions, right? So now I have a equal to 10, right? So if I want to convert into float, how we can convert? With the help of float function. Now, same way, what is the value of a? A value is 10. Now, if I want to convert this two, if I want to convert into Boolean, what is the result now? So Boolean means if I convert into Boolean, either we will get true or we will get false. So if I convert a to Boolean type, what I will get?
True.
True, because 10 is non-zero. 10 is non-zero. 10 is not zero. Now, a equal to 0 I'll take. Now, if I convert to Boolean type, what I'll get?
False.
False I'll get. Correct? Now, I'll take a equal to some 0 dot, so many zeros, 1, right? So 0 dot 0 0 0, so many zeros and 1. Now, if I convert to Boolean type, what I'll get?
I
True.
think it
Most
Yeah, it will be true only. So the statement is very clear here. Only 0 will be treated as false. Rest everything will be treated as true. Even though any decimal point also, right? Again, if I take 0 dot so many zeros and 0, then also it will be treated as false only. So if this is the case, like if I take, so now if I take this as 0, then if I convert into Boolean type, this will be treated as false. Got it? So only 0 will be treated as false. Rest everything will be treated as true. But again, what is 0 in Python? So if you remember first 2 points, right? Next, we need to talk about what is 0 in Python, right? So now I'll take a equal to one string. Now I convert this into Boolean. Now what I'll get?
you will get true.
True. Correct? Because simple thumb rule is a is not 0. If it is not 0, then I'll get true. These things are very important when you are writing our day-to-day programming. Okay, so you should know what is true and what is false in Python, not only for your day-to-day programming, for interviews and also for your certification exams. So you should know what is true and what is false in Python. Next, so what is 0? What and all things are considered as 0 in Python? Okay, so 0, empty string, empty list, empty set, empty tuple, empty dictionary. All these things will be considered as 0 in Python. not only zero, not only zero, empty string, empty list, empty set, empty tuple, empty dictionary. All these things will be considered as zero in Python. Okay, now maybe note down these things.
Okay, so I think Boolean operation we can use it as is null operation.
In Java, null is different again. Okay, null we will talk about. There is a, if you remember in data types, you have a data type called null also.
Okay, okay.
Okay? Yeah. So in Java, there is no concept called Boolean. Boolean data types are present, right? In Java also, it should be there, I think. Actually, I don't know anything about Java, but it should be there. Boolean data type should be there in
It is
Java.
there. Yeah, it's there. Boolean
Yeah,
like
yes,
keyword. Yeah.
correct. Boolean type should be there in Java. Only C and C, in C only it is not there. I think, but rest of all programming languages, Boolean type is okay. Yeah. So only zero will be treated as false in Python. So what and all things we can consider as zero? The numeric data zero and empty string, empty list, empty set, empty tuple, empty dictionary. All these things will be treated as zero in Python. Right now, so I'll take this is empty string now. This is empty string. So string means we will declare in double quotes or either double quotes or single quotes. Okay, so both are valid. Again, anyway, we are going to discuss in strings. Just for now, just remember, right? So anything enclosed in double quotes will be treated as zero. Sorry, will be treated as string. Double quotes or even single quotes also it is valid. So if I use now single quotes, this is also treated as string. So if I ask what is the type of A, this is also string. Again, if I use double quotes also fine. So now also it will be treated as string. Okay. So both single quotes, double quotes will be treated as string. But generally what we follow is we follow double quotes only because we are habituated to use double quotes for strings. Because other all programming languages we use double quotes to represent a string. But how Python will treat? Python actually will display in single quotes only. But that's okay for us. You can follow any of them, either single quotes or double quotes. But throughout your program, throughout your project, try to follow only one thing, either use single quotes or use double quotes. Okay, now so yes, what I have here, so s is I have empty string. Now if I convert this to boolean, what I'll get?
False.
Yeah, so I should get false because because so what is zero in Python? What is zero in Python? Only zero and empty string, empty list, empty set, empty tuple, empty dictionary. All these things will be treated as false, zero in Python. Okay, now I take s equal to now what I have done, I have added a space. I have added a space. So now what will happen if I convert this to string? Sorry, if I convert it to boolean.
It should return false because it's a empty only.
No, no, no. It should not. It will not return false. It will return true only. Right? The thumb rule is very simple. Only these cases, only these are the cases it will return false. Rest only these are the cases Python will treat it as zero. Rest everything it will be treated as non-zero only. See here,
Yeah, okay,
what I
okay.
added here. I added a character here.
Space.
Yeah, space character. Space is a
Okay.
character, right? So we know ASCII values. There are different type of ASCII values are there, right? And also what and all our character means. So alphabets, everything. What and all you see on your keyboard, all those things are characters only, right? All the special characters. So space also a character. So it is not zero. It is not zero. Okay. So when we say s equal to, right? So you, I am, learning Python, right? So here, in general, whenever we are writing like this sentence formation, right? So we add spaces, correct? So here, after AM, there is a space. That doesn't mean that it is null or nothing is there, correct? So just like A, just like M, space also a character, correct? So
Okay, yeah, yeah,
that's why,
got it.
yes, yeah. So that's why it will be written as true only. So only empty string will be treated as zero. Empty string will be treated as zero. So zero means false. Now I'll take a equal to zero. Now if I convert this will be treated as false. A equal to one or a equal to anything, right? So any data. So this also will be treated as true, correct? And we have a list, so don't worry how we represent list and all. So list, okay, so I have a data in list. Now if I convert into boolean type, this is list actually. What I'll get?
True.
True only, correct? So again, empty list, how I declare is like this. I'll declare empty list. Now if I convert into boolean type, I'll get false.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask now what is the type of L. So it will say list. So I'll say if I represent in this braces, right? So what it will be treated as? It will be treated as tuple. Okay. So I say I use T. This will be treated as tuple. So is my tuple is empty? My tuple is not empty, right? So it will be treated as true. So if I create empty tuple, right? Now it will be treated as false. Right? Now what I'll do is I'll use dictionary. So dictionary I represent in this curly braces. No need to worry all these things. Okay, so how we represent and all, we are going to have enough discussion on all these data types. Now also it will be treated as false. So if I create some data in dictionary, so again no need to worry what I'm writing in the dictionary, right? This will be treated as true. Got it? What is zero in Python? What is non-zero in Python? So in
Yeah.
Python in boolean type we have only true and false. So which and all will be treated as true, which and all will be treated as false. So I think everyone is having some basic computer programming knowledge, right? So you might be knowing if else conditions, correct? So if if right. So what is the syntax of if in general any programming language? So if some condition we will give you. Here I'll get some condition, correct? So when this control will enter into if condition, if this condition will become true, if this condition is true, then only it will enter into the loop, then only it will enter into the condition or if block, correct? So now say maybe let me write a small program here. Shivani, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second, it's opening. Yeah. Okay. And everyone, Madhvi and Siddha, you are able to install Python and you are able to do the exercises, is it? Basic
Yes, sir.
programming. Okay. Yeah. Good. Okay. So I'll take some a equal to 10, right? If a, right? So print, right? Say some true. So no need to worry about syntax and all. Just see the concept. Maybe after 2 days we are going to discuss about conditions, if else conditions. Okay, just see now. So if this condition is true, then only it will enter into if this block. If it is not true, then it will come to else block. So basic if else, I think everyone must be knowing about it, right? So now what will be the output now? So a equal to 10 I am taking. So this if condition, it will become true or false.
Will become true.
It is become true. So it will enter into the if block, and we should see the print called true, right? Let me save this and run. So now if I run it, you should get as true, right? Now I'll take 0. Now I should get false, is it? Now I should get
Yes.
false. Next, I'll take it as empty string, right? So now what should I get?
False.
Get false. Correct? Next, I'll take, so just take space character. Now what I'll get?
Added space. So it's a
Yeah,
non-empty.
correct. So if we enter into the if block, you should see string. You should see this print true, right? Now
Hmm.
I'll add empty list. Now also what you will get, if I add empty list, you should see as false. Got it?
Yeah. Sir, how you are running a program? Is it in
Okay.
a different way? Because earlier you showed it like from the command prompt to
Yeah. So I was
run
returning. So I was
file.
writing. Uh, I was writing on Notepad at the time. So now I am using this Python ideally. Okay. So maybe I'll be using this Python ideally, but whatever we are doing, right? You just practice in the Notepad only. Just why I use here means it just speed up my this thing. Otherwise, if I use Notepad, right, it will take some it will consume some time. So for my convenience, I'm using this ideally, but don't
Okay,
use
okay,
this.
fine, fine.
Okay, so all these things
Okay,
you should
fine.
write in Notepad
No, no
only.
reason. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Reason I asked, I thought if I have missed anything, so I thought
no,
let me ask. Okay,
no,
fine. Yeah, no
just for
problem.
my convenience, I use this. Okay, yeah. Next, so these things you should be very clear about these things. Okay, maybe in the interview they may not be asking this much basic, but for our day-to-day programming, without this knowledge we can't do anything. So without if else conditions, without loops, right? So no one we no, we don't have any use cases without adding any conditions and without adding any loops, correct? So this knowledge you should be definitely having. Okay, but in our day-to-day programming again, so if we may use something like this, if this variable is true or false, but okay, in written test and all, right, you may see something like this. Okay, now what will happen?
Uh, it should go to true because the condition says if
Yeah, what I added in the condition, it is,
string. I mean, just
it's a string or empty string?
empty string. But sir, we
Empty
are
string.
not mentioning a keyword double.
That's okay. What is zero in Python and what is false in Python? This is what is zero in Python and what is false in Python. For if condition, again it will be treated as true and false, or zero or non-zero. If it is, if condition fails means if it is zero, then only it will fail, right? So internally it will be treated as true false only. For if condition, if I give true like this, okay, Now what will happen? If the condition is true, then only it will enter into the if block. If the condition is false, it will enter into the else block. Correct? Now what I'll get?
It
Uh,
should be true.
Should be true. Is it? You should see the print as true because it will enter into the true block if condition. Right? So now if I use false, is boolean type. Now you should see the print as false, which is else part will be executed. Correct? So now what I'll use is I'll use some integer. Now what will happen? 1 to 3 is 0 or non-zero? It is non-zero. So you should see as true. For condition, okay, for condition, inside the condition, either it will take either 0 or true or false only for conditions. And we know what is 0, what is true, and what is not, what is false in Python, right? So is this leads to true or false? It is true, right? Same
True.
way. Now, now I am using some string, right? So this will become true or false. Just Python. This is also
True.
true, correct? So it should enter into the if block. If so, true. So anyway, again we are going to discuss about this if condition, else condition, all those things. But here we are discussing about only true and false in Python. Okay, so no need to worry about much in related to if else condition. Right now, if I don't add anything here, now empty string is treated as true or false.
It's
Empty
false.
string
False.
will be treated as false. Correct. So it should return false. It should enter into the else block. Correct. Same way. So if I use a space, so this is true or false. A space. I have added a space in the string,
It's true.
which will return
True.
as true. Right. Yes. So if I run this, it is also it will enter into the if block only. Right. So same way if you take empty. In general, we don't use these things, but only in written test only you may get this written test or certification exams. Okay. Now this is what empty list. Empty list. So now if I run this is also will go to else part because condition failed. Okay. So this is about what is true and what is false in Python. Okay. You should be don't forget about these things. Very important for our day-to-day programming, and also if you are planning for any certifications. Okay. So questions may be something like this only: if condition, while loop, they may ask. So in the condition they may take like this: empty list or empty set or empty tuple, empty string. Okay. So at the time only to get confused. Okay. So for if else, for if condition, it will just for it is so blind, either it is true or false, it will take whatever you gave inside this condition. So if doesn't matter what you are passing here, it only matter whether it is true or false. So we know what is true and what is false in Python. Got it? Next. Next is Python operators. Just quickly note down the operators we have. So only out of all these operators, now we discuss only few operators, maybe some 3 or 4, and maybe in between we can discuss other operators. Because actually in complete Python operators is boring topic. Arithmetic, assignment, relational or comparison, logical operators, equality, bitwise, shift. ternary. Actually, there is no ternary operator in Python, but with the help of if else conditions, we will get the advantage of ternary operator. And last, ninth and 10th are very, very important. Identity operators and membership operators. So out of 9 and 10, 10th is again very, very important. So 10th membership operators are very, very important for our day-to-day programming. Identity operators are maybe important for interview. Very rarely, very occasionally we may use identity operators in our code, but we must know 9th and 10th identity operators and membership operators. These are some special operators in Python, which you may not find in other programming languages. Rest all you will get, all programming languages will support other operators because basic mathematics only, correct? So arithmetic and every I think no need to discuss very much in detail about these operators because we all know what is arithmetic, what is assignment, what is relational. Okay, but only what we need to know is what is the return type, what it will return. Okay, arithmetic operator. So arithmetic operators means what and all you will get. Maybe just note down these operators. Then let's see about arithmetic operators first. So these are the arithmetic operators. Maybe just take down a picture and maybe you can note it down later. So plus, minus, multiplication, division, modular division. Okay. So all these we already know. Okay. And last two, plural division and exponent operator is there in Python. And what you need to remember in arithmetic operations is in case of division operator, right, this operator, the result is always float value. The result is always float value. This is what we need to remember. And we all know, right? So what is division operator and what is modular division operator? Hmm? And so I'm not going to explain all these things because this is very fundamental. Okay, maybe I'll tell you what is flow division and what is exponent. Okay, now so right, so I'll say a equal to 10 and b equal to 2. I'll use a by b. What I'll get, I'll be getting 5.0 because division operator will always return float type. This is what you need to remember. Okay, so if you are expecting some integer, then what you need to do, convert this into integer and then use. Means say c equal to a by b, and what is the value in c? It is 5.0. And what is the if I ask what is the type, type is always float. So if you want to use this c as integer, what you need to use, you need to convert to integer, then use it. Now if I ask what is the type of c, it is integer. Okay, next. So addition, multiplication, all these things very different, right? So there is something called floor division also. Floor division means what? Okay, so I'll take some a equal to some 10 and b equal to some 7, right? So if I use A by B, what I'll get some 1.4, etc., etc. I'll be getting. But in general, normally, if I want to do floor division, see what I will get. I'll get one only. Okay. So for any value, for any number, right? There is something called ceiling value and floor value. Ceil value and floor value. Okay. So what does it mean? If I take a number, right? So I'll take a number of some 10.45. Okay. For this number, the floor value will be 10, the ceil value will be 11. Ceiling value will be 11. Okay. So floor value means it will be adjusted to the low this one this integer only. It will adjust it to nearest integer, lesser number. Okay. So for this 10.45, this floor value will be 10 and ceil value will be 11, right? So if I take some other number, okay, so I'll take some 11.99999999. So for this, what is the ceiling value? For this, the ceiling value will be 12 and the floor value will be 11. So what we are doing, actually we are rounding up. We don't want to take the float values. We don't want to take the digits which is there after the dot, after the point. 11.9999. I don't want all those things. I want to round figure it. Then we can use this floor division. So for this 11.9999, what is the floor value? It is 11. What is the ceiling value? 12. So we don't have anything, any function for ceil to get the ceil value, but we have function to get the floor value. We have floor division. Okay. Now see, same thing, A by B will return 1.4. Same way if I use, now what I'll get? 1. Okay. Some 100 divided by some 34. Okay. What I'll get? Some 2.94. If I use floor division, I'll get 2. This is what we call it as floor division. Floor division. Right. And also we have a operator called exponential operator. So say if I use 2 into 2, what I'll get? 4. 2 into 3, 2 into 5, I'll get 10. Right now, 2, this will be treated as 2 to the power of 5. 2 to the power of 5. Exponential operator. If you use single star, it is multiplication operator. If you use 2 stars, it will be treated as exponential operator. Right. So now just use 3 into 2. This is just multiplication. Whereas 3, this is 3 power 2. So we have already inbuilt for exponential, to do exponential operations. We have already operator called exponential operator, which is 2 stars. If you use single star, it is multiplication operator. If you use 2 stars, then it will be exponential operator. Got it? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Fine. So I'll stop here today. Tomorrow we'll continue with other operators. Okay. If no questions, that's all for today. And for what and all I'm showing here, right? For all these things, write down a program, okay? So that you'll be get hands-on experience on how to use Python program, how to write Python program. Okay, fine then. Bye.